Hi everyone, my name is Mario Cuevas, and with the help of my partner Jorge Said, we're going to present to you our final project for the object-oriented programming class, the City of Endless Summer. So, for this final project, we were tasked to make a video game of our own making on the monogame platform. So, we decided to create a top-down adventure and narrative style of game because we like this type of game and they have an enormous potential to be a very diverse experiences that you can find them funny and emotional but incredibly immersive due to their simplicity. So the references we have for this game are the following two. The first of which is The Legend of Zelda from 1986, because this game establishes most of the standard practices of the majority of the modern top-down games. In this game, the exploration and narrative occur in an almost natural way in which the game only tells the player some keywords and the rest depends on you. It's like a game that doesn't hold your hand in any time and you have to figure out where to go and how to do stuff by yourself. And our next inspiration was Yume Nikki. Now, Yume Nikki took the genre one step further, in which the world is not only good looking, but all of those dreamlike scenarios bring to you enormous amounts of emotions like sadness, joy, and fear. It's like walking around an creepy and yet beautiful dream you once had. So how are we supposed to use these references? Well, now that we have these references, we have a much clearer picture of all of the strengths the genre possesses. For example, we can incorporate the idea of a silent protagonist with no personality, so the player can see itself playing on that role. We also include the way top-down games give you the task or story, just using simple words, and the rest depends on you to figure out how to accomplish that task. And now the solution and implementation section of the presentation. First, we need to create our own assets. Yes, we had some, but we needed to create our own to, establish a certain place or a certain things that happen at a certain time. So we created almost all of the backgrounds of the game and all of the animated characters. For example, those two that you see here, the hero and the omen, the most prominent one you can see all around the game. And to create all of this, we use the next thing, a free powerful tool called Pisco. With this, you can literally create anything using pixel art. It could be a small flower, or it could be a big house, and even allows you to create different animations so you can see how they look. It's a powerful tool that functions on browser and you can download it on your PC. And for the biggest map on the game, we decided to take an extra reference material with this map from The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It's called The Lost Woods. We decided to create it because it would be more difficult to us to compose an entire new map. So we took that map and just took the we took that map and just put all of the setting of the map, and then we created our own stuff to make you feel that it's a different place. For example, it gives more the vibe of a small town.
Well, for the first steps of the game, we started by creating a demo in which we could see the reaction between the items, the character, the enemies, and the NPCs. We can see how Link was able to interact between items, keys, the old man, in this case the red Link, and the enemies, or the red ball in this case, which later will become another type of thing. Well, for our menu, we created 8 buttons, one for each of the buttons if they are off and they are on. Via RBG, we were able to detect the place in which the pixel changes to know if the mouse cursor is over or not. If this happens, we can change the color, well, in this case, the image, to make it look like if the mouse is over, it lights up, making the player feel like they are over there. Well, creating the minigame. In the minigame, we created an enemy, we use another map, and we use a hero, in which the hero needs to evade these enemies and survive the longest time possible, as well as having a counter of how many enemies are on screen at the same time. Well, for the main game, we have a map, two aliens, one old man, and one hero. We can see how the red bulb burns, so they can only be moved up and down. The blue balls are wet, so they can only move to the sides. The old man is mad to you, you're moving his stuff, but he's blind, so you will not be able to move if he's close. Also, the results. Well, it was more the expected, but we also had some things we didn't expect, like having a special place for the extra stuff and having it's something we didn't think, but we created later, as well as saying that this was more time consuming than we were expecting. And well, for the future work, we are thinking on implementing the 2D camera. Although we were able to do it, we weren't able to do it via the ways we were practicing in class, as well as to adding more levels. Because right now at the main game, we only had one level that it explains you the mechanics of the game. But now that we have the mechanics, we can create more levels more easily. For the demo of the game, okay, we can see here how the background changes colors if you do anything in time, like we can see, as well as having how if the RGB is detected, it detects if mouse is over the button, changing the color, making you know that you are over there, ready to click the thing. Well, for the main game, the red balls burn, so you can only move them down. The blue balls are wet, so you can only move to the right. The old man is mad. He's kind of blind. If you get close, you won't be able to move. And move the alien outside screen to win. Let's save this city. Okay, so here we are, and we can see how the character has interaction with the map via not being able to cross where there are no streets, detecting by pixel point alpha if their streets by getting the aliens outside the screen. So that's what we are going to do, making the red one outside, and now going for the blue one, as well as happening to be with the old man. If you are here, you can listen to him. This kid's moving my stuff, and if you get close, you won't be able to move, but he can react if you try to. So now we go up, and we can move the ball up or down because it's a blue ball, but we can move it to the side. So that's what we're going to do. We're gonna get it outside screen, and we win. We go back and we go play again. It's again all the stuff. Now the minigame. Well, for the minigame, we need to survive the longest to these monsters, and we have a counter that tells us how much are in the screen and a timer of how much time we survive. If we get hit, we lose. Timer stops and the enemy counts stops. So we go back and we can play again, but we won't. Now for the extras, there's a character and all his animations, the old man and all his animations, the buttons on and off, the aliens, red and blue, the minimap game, and the biggest, the main game map. Finally, for the credits, well, who else did it than us? Jorge Said Villarreal and Mario Cuevas Delgado.
Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you for listening.